Hey, welcome back everyone, I'm Jayborino and this is Rise of the Blood Elves Enchanted Edition, a custom campaign for Warcraft 3. This is the finale, the final episode, the epilogue, if you will, of this campaign. I feel like it's nice to have a separate episode for the closure. I didn't want to tack it on to the end of Chapter 11 because it would have just been way too long. I mean, it was a very long episode as it was. I didn't even realize there was a timer on that mission until there were like less than 10 minutes left, and then I panicked. I can't believe I made it with like literally 1 second to spare on the timer. That was cool. The boss encounter is also very, very neat. And held very true, I think, to the Sunwell Plateau raid. Alright, Fate of the Sun. A few minutes later, after the Sunwell stabilized, the Blood Elves and the Draenei gather around, still bewildered by this event. Prophet Valen. Mortal heroes, your victory here was foretold long ago. My brother's anguished cries of defeat will echo across the universe, bringing renewed hope to all those who still stand against the Burning Legion. As the Legion's final defeat draws ever nearer, stand proud in the knowledge that you have saved worlds without number from the flame. Just as this day marks an ending, so too does it herald a new beginning. We damned one of the most noble beings of all time. We caused countless deaths. We may never atone for these sins. Few will remember Envina's name, yet this day she changed the course of destiny. What was once corrupt is now pure. We must not let her sacrifice be in vain. Envina will never be forgotten, Calicos. Had it not been for her, the Sunwell, the world, would have been engulfed in flames by now. In time, the light and hope held within will rebirth more than this mere fount of power. Mayhap they will rebirth the soul of a nation. Salvation, young ones. It waits us all. Farewell. It is done then. The Sunwell is restored, but our nation lacks leadership, guidance. Who will lead us now? You will, Lorthamar. Alessandra? You have guided our people before, Lorthamar, and we have all seen that you are an objective, wise leader. You do not let your emotions run away with you as I did. Why else do you think I burned as I did? I agree. You would make a fine leader, a worthy lord to whom I would pledge my sword. As would I. You can't. I'm not worthy. You can do this, my friend. My time is done now, friends, and I must go. Pray our paths never cross again. Farewell. Alessandra. Thank you. It is rather sad that Alessandra died the way she did, but she did help, I suppose, stall the Sunwell from summoning Kil'jaeden long enough for us to get there with 1 extra second, you know? Was that implying she was like a ghost in the Nether, I think? Months later, after the events of the Sunwell Plateau under the leadership of Lorthamar Theron, the Blood Elven nation prospered and entered into a new golden age. Many returned from Outland, embracing and rejoicing in their homeland. However, war had cost them heavily, and Lorthamar knew they would need allies. Thanks in part to his connections with Sylvanas Windrunner, a fledgling alliance is forged between the Cinderai and the Horde, which eventually accepts them under its banner. I feel like Blizzard did that just to subvert expectations. To have the Blood Elves join the Horde instead of the Alliance. I'm not sure about Dalaran, Lorthamar. They already betrayed us once. But if they want our support that bad, then something must have changed. I know, I'm not sure myself if I trust them. We'll see later today once Aethys arrives what this is about. Yes, it would be best to wait. Now, Lord Thamar, if you'll excuse me, but I have a lot of work to attend today. Al-Di El-Shalah. I apologize for taking away your time, Liadrin. I have to go meet with Awen anyway. Hey, so we can actually do stuff here. Meet with Awen.
Does not matter to me.
Just sort of out of curiosity. Okay, so this is what we saw in the blurb opening text. The Cinderai. Alright, so we have to go find Awen. I assume she's over to the left, so let's go check this out. Oh, Lord Thamar. So no longer just the regent, he actually is the faction head of the Blood Elves. Remain strong, Kalthus. Remain strong, Kalthus will error. Lord Thamar will lead you to power and glory. I see, so the arcane golems are supposed to be praising Kalthus, and they got reprogrammed, basically.
The sheer audacity
Alright, well, let's head over here.
Exactly what intrigues me.
Ah, and so the Forsaken are here. Come on, there
about
must be a reason why this golem is so slow.
Enough talk.
Is there?
Anarala Belore.
Is there a reason? Is there going to be more to this? No?
The sheer
I do like how the
audacity
Forsaken is
of the
just sort of
plan is
scattered
exactly what
around the
intrigues
city
me.
to show that they're here kind of helping us out. My lord. Lord Thamar, you wanted to see me? I received a letter from Dalaran, from Aethys. Once again, they're asking for our support. Anaralah, again? Won't this man ever realize we don't want to hand over our magi to them? I know. We should get going. He's just about to arrive at the Sun Fury Spire. Lord Thamar, this Silver Moon tabard. No. You should wear it. What does it matter? Anyone in the service of Silver Moon may bear it. It is the symbol of state. You are the head of state. You should look the part. I am the Regent Lord, not the King. This is not the point, Lord Thamar. You look like a Farstrider. I am a Farstrider. You were a Farstrider. You cannot be a Farstrider again, Lord Thamar. We know that for certain now. We're going to be late, Awen. Looking good. They rebuilt a lot in what, 3 months? There he is, finally. Welcome home, Archmage Aethys. Thank you, Lord Theron. Would that I were returning to stay. I am here on matters of utmost importance, one that concerns us all. I'm quite sure that you're aware that both Orgrimmar and Stormwind were assaulted by the Scourge. Scourge! Yes, but as I heard, Orgrimmar barely survived the assault. The Scourge's power and menace are far greater than even we first thought. I want to formalize our involvement with the Kirin Tor. It's imperative that the Magi of Quel'Thalas and Dalaran again work side by side, as we had for many years in the past. No. I asked the Regent Lord, not the Grand Magister. Well then, let the Regent Lord deign that I am fit to speak. I dare say we shall hear your opinion eventually in any case. Go on and say your piece. Did Modera send you with a statement before you left, Aethys? You do not exactly sound like yourself. Your words drip of her false diplomacy. At least she dares not set foot here herself. She has that much of sense. Modera agrees with me on these matters. She agrees with you, or rather, you agree with her, for I doubt they would send you here to speak on their behalf had you half a mind of your own. Ooh, got him! Damn it, Rameth. Do you have anything useful to say besides personal insults? You are blind. They bit off more than they can chew, and now they find themselves facing Arthas. They're afraid as they should be. They need aid beyond their own capacity, and to whom they have always turned regarding matters of the arcane. Oh yes, to us. The members of the Kirin Tor will swear up and down that you are indispensable to them, that your skills are invaluable. The moment you become inconvenient, you'll be discarded. Quel'Thalas and the Kirin Tor have been allied for over 2,000 years. Since we joined formally with the Horde, things have been strained, but... Since we joined the Horde, of course. That's somewhat awkward, I imagine. And do you remember exactly why we sought to join the Horde? A monumental betrayal. In Dalaran, beneath the ever-watchful eyes of the Kirin Tor. They really had nothing to do with... I assume you mean that the Kirin Tor did nothing to prevent it, did nothing to stop it, and instead left us to rot in the prisons beneath the city many of us called home as much as ever we did Silvermoon. The Kirin Tor find themselves under new leadership. That is a lie, and you know it. Ronan may be their figurehead, but Mudaran and Sirim remain on the council. These are the same people who happily turned their eyes away when Garithos sentenced us to death. They can all rot in hell, or better yet, in Arthas' army as Scourge. Despite your obvious disdain for the Kirin Tor, you seem to be rather well informed, Grand Magister. Which would be one of the reasons I am the Grand Magister of Quel'Thalas, and you are not, I would think. And as Grand Magister, I will never order my Magi to service in the name of the Kirin Tor. That is enough. You do not possess the authority to issue such ultimatums. It will be my decision whether to send our forces to Northrend, and if I so choose, you and your Magi will follow orders. Now, it's clear that to continue this will result in nothing more than petty bickering, and I, however, do not care to waste any more of my time. I would hazard the Razor General feels similarly. So Ramath is the new Grand Magister replacing Elisandra, I take it. I'm not sure. I believe his intentions are honest. I just don't know how far we can trust honest intentions, even among our own people. By the way, this is setting up Wrath of the Lich King. I would that if we give him authority to act on our behalf, he would intentionally or not promise something from us that I am not willing to give. Then again, if enough Cinder follow him to Dalaran, he will end up their de facto leader anyway, and I am loath to have him acting as such without obligation to the crown. Silvermoon. It'd be better if Ramath were not so stubborn. He lived in Dalaran for a long time. He bears the Archmage title himself, you know. He has enough experience with the Kirin Tor to know how to handle them, and enough loyalty to his country that I believe we could trust him. He would be an ideal liaison for Aethys. Well, that is a strange thing to hear you speak well of Ramath. I never approved of that business with Muru, but that's behind us now, and we have no more reason to doubt him. If he were going to betray us, he would have done it with Kalthus. Ramath, by the way, was the one sent back by Kalthus to teach us basically how to feed off of Muru. So what do you think? What should we do about Aethys and Dalaran? Aethys considers himself a member of the Kirin Tor, and I can think that a number of others who would be pleased to bear that mantle again as well. If the Kirin Tor want to admit Blood Elves, we cannot stop them from doing so. No, we cannot. However, it's my instinct that we should avoid official involvement in the war against the Scourge. Aethys should report to us periodically, and we should give him a clear set of boundaries, but those who wish to offer their services may do so under the banner of the Kirin Tor, not Quel'Thalas. What was that you said this morning about being a Farstrider? You sound more like a king every day, Lorthamar. My lord, Verisa Windrunner has arrived as you requested. She's waiting for you at the entrance to Silvermoon. Alrighty, let's get going here. So yeah, again, this it feels like a lot of fluff, but keep in mind this mapmaker has created another campaign that's centered around Sylvanas and the Forsaken, and it's supposed to be kind of a retelling of Wrath of the Lich King, similar to how this was of Burning Crusade. And so this was less about Burning Crusade. It more like just followed those events loosely and was more telling the story of the Blood Elves. And I think the Blood Elves are one of the most unique factions, and I think that this turned out very, very well. So we're proud to be back in Silvermoon, my lord. So I'm excited to see what he does with the Forsaken campaign, and I can see how this is setting up for that for sure. Because the Blood Elves are struggling on whether they want to go to war against the Scourge, which is about to happen with both the Alliance and the Horde. Verisa, welcome back to Silvermoon. Save the pleasantries, Lorthamar. We both know the only reason why I came here is to see with my own eyes if your Magi speak the truth about the Sunwell. Verisa, please, your people are free to return to Quel'Thalas. For years we rotted outside, thrown out of our homes at your behest because we refused to suck magic from living things like vampires. And now you want to offer aid? After all we've been through, now you offer it? Got him. I could not afford to lead a nation divided, and we both know it. Verisa, but times have changed. Nothing has changed. As soon as I'm done with my business here, I'll be returning to Dalaran immediately. So please, Lorthamar, don't even try to convince me that you and your people have changed. So I think Verisa is still considered a high elf, as opposed to a blood elf at this point. Alright, well, she's pissed.
May the light of the sun shine upon
So where do we gotta go next?
Enough talk.
Meet with Verisa Windrunner.
The sheer audacity
This is
of
probably
the plan
outside
is
the city.
exactly
Can we
what
leave?
intrigues me.
No. Return to
not
Sunfury
matter to
Spire.
me.
Alright. Back the way we
sheer
came, I say.
audacity of the
It's
plan
interesting
is
how the epilogue
exactly
is...
what
It's
intrigues
slightly
me.
playable. It's more so that you can walk through Silvermoon and see that you've retaken most of the city. And, again,
We
in
were
Burning
just talking
Crusade,
about you.
the chain of events was in a slightly different order. I mean, the Blood Elves, I believe, joined the Horde from the
Establish a
beginning,
perimeter.
only so that they had
not
an
matter to
alliance
me.
to be able to go through the Dark Portal and then
Enough
eventually
talk.
rejoin Kalthas.
Establish a
Then once
perimeter.
Kalthas started following Kil'jaeden,
Does not matter to
Lorthamar
me.
like officially took over.
Establish a perimeter.
And is this it or is it back here? I think
Enough
it's this,
talk.
isn't it? Yes. Okay. Well, who's back here now?
May the light of the sun shine upon you.
Well, what did you expect? How did she react? 5 years ago, I threw them out of the homes that they had fought for every bit as fiercely as everyone in Quel'Thalas today. How do you think she reacted? Verisa Windrunner is married to the new leader of the Kirin Tor. She is not fond of me, or those I represent. I'd hoped, because you were a ranger, I thought maybe you could help us bridge that gap. I suppose not. You suppose correctly. Yes. Lord Theron, your presence is requested in the hall. I am not available. My lord, the Banshee Queen will not wait. No, of course she'll not. She will not. Show me to her. It's a lot to read, okay? Sometimes I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm not a real narrator here, okay? Lady Sylvanas. I've just returned from Orgrimmar. Arthas has dared to strike at the heart of the Horde. Yes, I've heard. Stop sitting down! The attack was successfully repelled, but Arthas is only toying with us. We must bring the war to him. War Chief Thrall at last sees what we have long known. The Horde prepares for war, and the Cinderai, Lorthamar, constitute a portion of the Horde. Lorthamar, we go to destroy Arthas once and for all. I appreciate that you and War Chief Thrall wish us to join you on the initial front in Northrend, but we are stretched too thin. We've already received a similar request from the Kirin Tor, but I cannot in good faith send our forces north. Since the events at Quel'Danas, that's not a request, Lorthamar. You will send troops. You will accompany the Forsaken. Sylvanas, we've just fought a civil war. What can we possibly have to give? Have you forgotten who was responsible for the state of Quel'Thalas in the first place? Who was ultimately to blame? Well, I at least have not. My vengeance will not be denied, and you will give what I demand of you. The Cinderai Rangers and Magi, as well as the Blood Knights. Damn. We cannot spare them, Sylvanas. Then you can hide here like a beaten dog if that is indeed your will, Lorthamar. Though if you believe anything can come from it, you're a fool. Do you think Arthas will be content to ignore you whilst you wait here and lick your wounds? Do you think I will tolerate such cowardice? For a while now, my people have stood guard in these lands, and it is by my hand that you have any place within the Horde. You will aid us in Northrend, or I shall cease to aid you in Quel'Thalas. He's sitting down again. He's like, fuck you, Sylvanas. Send my exhausted people to find more death in Northrend or risk losing Quel'Thalas to the Scourge once again. There's no choice here, Sylvanas. I will expect your forces at the Undercity in 2 weeks, Lorthamar. I will not be disappointed in this. Yes, my lady. How can you do this? This is blackmail. It was you who wanted to help more than we asked for. We never asked for more of your assistance. You gave it out of your own free will. How can you call yourselves our allies in one breath and hold our lands for ransom in the next? You were never required to accept my offers. You chose to. All I ask for now is the will and power to defeat our greatest foe. Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Sylvanas? No. I'm finished here, Lorthamar. Shirel Iran, Sylvanas. He should have been like, good, then get the fuck out. Lorthamar, you cannot seriously. We do not... You heard her, Ramath. We go to Northrend or we lose Forsaken support, and likely the rest of the hordes as well. So we go. There are still soldiers in the infirmaries from Quel'Danas. We have not even a proper service for the dead. By the Sunwell, Lorthamar. We do not have a choice, Ramath. Do you not understand that? We do as Sylvanas asks, or we quite possibly lose all of Quel'Thalas south of the Elrondar River. So let it go. Let it go? Do you know how many elves, Sindori and Quel'Darai alike, died to defend that land, and you say I should just let it go? They would rather have died in vain than have given their lives just so you can turn into nothing more than the puppet of some monster in the name of their sacrifice. Do not fall for her threats, Lorthamar. She will only use you. Lorthamar's like, fuck this shit, he just ran out. Lorthamar, are you alright? I'm fine, Awen. Don't worry. Send word to Lady Liadrin. Tell her what has been decided. You and Ramath will prepare your forces as well. It will be done immediately. If you're going to Northrend, will you also support the Kirin Tor? The Kirin Tor can do whatever they damn well please. It's no concern of mine. But seeing as any number of Sindarai forces will shortly be heading north, I expect many of them will likely end up on your doorstep. You will do what you can to aid them, Aethys. Now go find Ramath. I'm sure he'll have much use of you. I suppose you should be pleased, Archmage. It's true I wish to acquire your support in Northrend, Regent Lord, but not on these terms. Believe me when I say I would rather have seen you agree on your own free will, not because of... My free will remains intact, thank you, and it's still by my will that Quel'Thalas is ruled. Of course, my lord. So a lot of this is setting up Wrath of the Lich King and probably the follow-up campaign, but it's also kind of establishing how Lorthamar is now the real faction leader of the Blood Elves. Congratulations, you've reached the end of Rise of the Blood Elves Enchanted Edition! Hey! What a dream. I hope that you enjoyed playing this campaign as much as I enjoyed creating it. I'd like to thank Hive Workshop for being such a great website with many nice people, lots of great resources and guides which helped me to create this campaign, my friend Tina for helping with the story, and Blizzard Entertainment for creating such a great game. Thank you Tomoraider for creating this. This is real fun. If you're interested in what happens with Sylvanas and the Forsaken next in the story, try out the sequel, Curse of the Forsaken. I will! I don't know if I'm going to do that one right away. I'm thinking I'm going to... I just played Rise of the Blood Elves. Telenol suggested one to me. I forget what it's called, but he said it's one of the best Warcraft 3 custom campaigns he's played. So I think I'm going to pick that up, and then I'm going to swing back and do Curse of the Forsaken. But I did really enjoy this campaign, hands down to Tomoraider, and I've said this in previous missions, but basically, I didn't really have anything much to comment on in the missions about them being custom. It was more I was just commenting on what was happening in the mission, what kind of strategies I needed to use, and I think that alone says how legitimate these campaigns feel. Or this campaign felt, I should say. And I assume his other campaigns as well are going to feel the same way, and I think that's huge. I mean, number one with custom content, I always say, is like, is it fun? It doesn't matter how goofy it is, or if it follows the lore properly or whatever. Is it fun? This campaign was fun, and then second, this campaign had a lot of really cool lore nuggets, and, you know, the way that it fit into Burning Crusade and all of that is very, very neat. It was very, very fun, and it felt like a legitimate campaign. Like, if Blizzard just put this out as, like, a download campaign, similar to, like, Enslavers for the original StarCraft. Like, that's an official canon campaign. This is how that feels. It feels like it fits very well in with the existing story, and nothing felt so overtly broken that it had to be pointed out. I don't think. I mean, nothing's coming to mind, which, again, that kind of just proves my point. So these were very, very fun. This is sort of my little retrospective I do after I finish a custom campaign. I really enjoyed that holdout mission. Where was it? War on Silvermoon. That was really fun, where we got to control the Forsaken. That's another reason I look forward to the Forsaken campaign, is because the Forsaken tech tree seems so cool. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I don't remember the name of the one that Talonel suggested, but again, that's what I'll probably play next. So expect to see that next week. I'm glad I split this into its own episode, because that was a lot of reading, and I really need to drink some water. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.